Our Finance Minister in his budget this afternoon confirmed we are spending more than we are collecting from less people. As we know, with Stats SA recently published unemployment figures, we are down 2.2 million jobs in the peak of the pandemic. There's been a slight recovery, but we're still 1.3 million jobs down by the end of the year than what we started 2020. And that takes our unemployment figures to 32.5%, the highest on record. This past year, in terms of tax collections, we collected 1.2 trillion rand, a shortfall of 213 billion rand, the largest on record. Forecast for next year, a tax collection of 1.37 trillion rand. The minister confirming that there would be a shortfall and we would need to borrow 500 billion rand per year in the medium term to cover that shortfall. Government expects only to stabilize debt to GDP at 2025 tax year at 88.9%. So what does that mean for tax collections for you this year? VAT rate stays the same at 15%. Our businesses have some relief in that the corporate tax will reduce from 28% to 27%, but only in April 2022. And the Finance Minister did suggest that there would be limitations in terms of interest deductions and assessed loss deductions as well. Personal income tax brackets will increase by 5%, more than the inflation rate. So that will be more money in the pocket for our low income and middle income households. Of course, fuel taxes, exercise duties, and those sin taxes go up as well. SARS has also dedicated a unit to high net worth individuals, hoping to collect 3 billion rand in terms of offshore asset allocations and complex tax setups. So where's that money going to be spent? 10 billion rand has been allocated towards vaccine rollouts, the purchasing of vaccines over the next 2 years. And the hope there is that we can get the economy recovered and back into action again. The economy contracting by 7.2% last year and a forecast of 3.3% growth next year. Social grants. We know that our social grant recipients have increased. We're now sitting at 18.3 million people receiving social grants, and the government therefore only able to increase social grants by 2%, way less than inflation. The COVID distress package, of course, has been extended to April as well. 11 billion rand has been allocated towards the Youth Employment Initiative, and that'll take the total spend to 100 billion rand. Concerningly though, unemployment in the youth is high. In our 15 to 24-year-old category, we have unemployment figures of 74%. And this category of employment is 26% of the labor force. So 10 million youth between the age of 15 and 24 years old, 3 in 4 of them sitting unemployed at the moment. A further 792 billion rand will be spent on infrastructure investment, particularly within the road environment, road infrastructure. But be warned, the minister did allude to the fact that there would be a user must pay cost-reflective tariff for usage. And lastly, of course, on the retirement fund reform, with the changes to the draft regulations of Regulations 28 released for public comment, the aim there to make it easier for investment into infrastructure. With all the unemployment at the moment, the message that I have for our tenants, for our landlords, for our schools is recovery, job recovery, and this will stimulate the growth and the recovery that we desperately need in the South African economy.